covering the latest for us is Irris Makler. She's our correspondent in Jerusalem, and she's with me live now. Irris, as I say, no official reason has been given for the delay in starting this truce, but do you have any sense as to what might be going on behind the scenes?
No, that's right. No official reason. And in fact, we were only told at midnight last night by Israel's national security advisor, as everyone was preparing for the hostage deal and the ceasefire to begin, within 6 hours, and the hostage deal 10 hours later, that it wasn't going to be, not today at any rate. Israeli media is reporting that there actually was that Hamas was not able to fulfill its terms very late in the negotiation. Israel had demanded something like 50 women and children who were alive and who were named. But when it came down to it, to providing a list of names for the first 10 hostages to be released and the names of all 50, suddenly that was not possible late yesterday. And it is being reported here that it's being viewed as a logistical problem, something that can be solved, not an attempt to overturn the agreement, the hostage deal, and of course the ceasefire, which I think is very important for Hamas and certainly for Palestinian civilians in the Gaza Strip. But that's how it's being reported here. It's quite interesting, Nadia. I was on air last night because there was a press conference held by the Prime Minister, his Defence Minister, and another member of the War Cabinet. This was quite late, and there was no mention of the fact that the deal was not going to go through. It was being reported as if it were going to go through, and there's been quite a strong reaction to that as well.
And Irris, you and I were talking at this time yesterday, and then you were saying emotions running extremely high for the families of the hostages held in Gaza. With this delay, we can only imagine the anxiety for them is even higher.
Yes, for the people who thought they might be seeing their loved ones, they weren't told who was going to be in the first 10. We now know no one knew who was going to be on that list, it seems. But everyone who has children there, or women and children there, was incredibly nervous. And now some of them are actually so nervous they can't speak to the media any longer. And their feelings are, they feel like they're as taut as a wire. That's how they've been pulled. And I have heard some criticism from relatives of the hostages who say, if the politicians knew that it wasn't realistic at that press conference last night, why did they let us think that it was? We're not toys to be played with. We're actually suffering human beings. And I have to say that despite all of this ceasefire talk, there's been fighting right up to the last minute, right up to today when there was meant to be no fighting, and an extraordinary barrage of rockets coming across from Lebanon today. Yesterday we were hearing that Hezbollah would join in this ceasefire. So the war keeps going right up to the last minute, and the fighting keeps going on right up to the last minute, and the suffering of civilians and especially of the families of the hostages goes on right to the last minute too.
Irris, as always, it's good to talk to you. Thanks very much. Irris Makler for us there in Jerusalem.